Right, so it should be on. So what should we talk about first? There's so much that happened in pretty much the past.
I really think we should talk about, Ray Fisher's, tweet that happened since Wednesday, Wednesday that happened about, he told about Josh Whedon was a sexist and he was a man who ruined Justice League, and he was giving no respect to Zack Snyder's film or anything.
And I mean, pretty much, yeah, we can go ahead and talk about that. And pretty much what I want to say about that is him coming out and saying that is pretty much him confirming all the stuff that we pretty much already kind of knew. We had a feeling about all the crap that happened behind the scenes, because I mean, people really gotta see. People should really go back on interviews when it came to the premiere for Justice League, and how the cast really didn't look happy. They were acting like to make themselves look happy, but you already you can kind of tell when you really look at them, like they had to lie about the whole situation.
Yeah, I'm not even surprised about that at all. I mean, as I was looking at, everyone's faces, they weren't even like, how should I say, being hype about it. They were just like cringing, looking like sad.
The main ones that pretty much gave all that stuff away to me was Ben Affleck and Jason Momoa. Like almost every time that somebody asks a question about how Josh took care of business and all that, if you literally look at Jason, he just put a face like he just looks mad. He looks like he wants to say so much every time somebody asks that question of, what he got to do to fix the movie and all that, BS.
And plus, we know Jason Momoa was hype about Zack Snyder's, directing Justice League and how he was going to make his
and yeah, and especially Ray, because I mean, people gotta understand when it comes to Ray, this was pretty much his first huge movie. This was supposed to be the movie that was pretty much gonna put him on the map. Blow him up as an actor and all that stuff. And what they did to especially his character in the movie was very wrong, because in a way people gotta understand that Cyborg was gonna have an origin pretty much in this whole movie. Was really he had a huge part, pretty much in Justice League. It's a good thing that we're finally gonna get to see that when we get to see Justice League from Zack Snyder. But to me, what I really hate about all this is like Josh already has a background, like a nasty background. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, his wife even came out before, his ex-wife, talking about how fake he is, and how gross he is as a person and all that. So this is nothing wrong, nothing new when it comes to Josh.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I kind of heard about a lot of infamous stuff what he has done to, the Wonder Woman movie he wrote.
Oh yeah, apparently the script is very gross. It's very gross in a way, So I mean, if you really watch anything that he has made, he's pretty much a child. He has the mind of a child, and he just, when it comes to females on his movies, like he has no respect whatsoever when it comes to females and all that stuff. Just the angles and the shots or what he does with female characters.
I mean, I may have not seen Buffy the Vampire series or Angel series, but I do believe that he did something really bad to an actress who got her.
Yeah, what happened with that? That's something I just heard the other day. But again, I don't really watch that. I haven't really seen that show like that. I knew about the show. If anything, I used to watch Angel more than Buffy. But when it comes to that story, I don't know. I don't really remember the character's name or the actor's name, but I guess he did something very wrong when she got pregnant. Like he fired her or something like that.
Yeah, Dad was very influenced about hearing it, but knowing about Josh Whedon, was a gross ass, and he was so much of a sexist, and he threatened an actress in Justice League, locking her in a room and said, "If you don't do this, I'm gonna ruin your career, and I'm going to make you."
I heard about that. So is that true? Because I apparently he did it to Gal Gadot. That's what I heard. Apparently, according to some people, like he tried to, kind of like putting her career on the line. Like you gotta do this, if not, your career is over and all that. And now I just seen just today videos about, which I didn't even realize it's an all interview of Gal Gadot talking about how she did scenes with none of the actors. Like I don't know if that was because of schedule problems, or the way I see it is because she didn't want nothing to do with Joss anymore. So she ended up reshooting some scenes on a room, with all the people with all the producers, so she don't have to put up with him.
I'm not even surprised about that. It's just that we all know Josh is a real sexist, pig he is, and second of all, he's definitely a racist, along with John Berg.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm I wasn't really trying to get there and say that, but you're right. People really gotta see just how they like. Again, if they were cutting scenes out because they didn't have enough time to cut down the movie, all right, that doesn't make any sense, because how do you cut out all those scenes from the black actors, and all that stuff, but then you add on scenes with like white people or whatever? Does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense.
Dude,
the time you just cut out, you just added the time again, but with white people. Like you were just whitewashing the movie.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why the hell are we, watching these annoying ass people that were in the film added, but they were, involved with the plot? For example, the Atom. He was involved in, trying to help, Dr. Victor's, his unlocking the mother box. And two, we have, Iris West supposed to be, be the one who saved who was Barry's, rescue. And third,
Iris was, that's literally a huge part of the story especially when it comes to the Flash, to Barry. Like, how do you cut that out?
And don't forget, remember in Comic-Con 2017 where there was a scene where Barry, pops the glass like a bubble?
Yeah, and that was literally a whole scene in Central City, which we barely really didn't get to see that in that garbage version of Justice League.
Not to mention about Victor's mom was cut out the film. Like, we know that she was happy, or her baby boy won the game, and she was there. And
that's a huge part of the character. The whole thing to me is racist, because you're cutting stuff that has to do with the main story, the main plot, especially for some of these characters. And for you to cut that out because you gotta cut out the time, but then you add on like whitewashing all the people in to pretty much get the time back because you cut out too much. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So why cut that out in the first place?
What's really dumb is that John Berg was defending himself pathetically.
And that's the next thing I want to talk about. It really gets me so mad that you got people now defending Joss and defending all this BS. Now they're even defending this piece of shit movie. Like, what are you doing? I'm sorry, but how can you be a DC fan and sit here and just be, talking all this trash like Josh actually did fix the movie? How can you even watch this movie? This movie's not even watchable.
Dude,
and now you're defending Joss after all this shit that came out. You're saying, oh, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. Like, really?
If somebody's seen the, Batgirl script of what Josh Whedon wrote, it's really disgusting, and he really has a pedophile fantasy on Babs. And one thing, if I were going to make a Batgirl, I would have preferred, she's now Oracle but we're gonna talk about her time when she was in her 20s, and how her experience was when she was, Batgirl, and how Batfleck, inspired her, and what really happened to her and the Joker past. I mean, I would prefer it that way, but not, Josh Whedon's, fantasy. It's like
it's just
really?
so much, I'm sorry, but there's no way of defending him. I don't care if he's your favorite director or blah blah blah. A lot of times you think you know a person and you don't. If the truth is coming out about it, there's many stuff that has happened before. It's like Tarantino. I used to be a huge fan for him, but in reality, I hear that he has a weird background too. When it comes to him, and actually him being like kind of like a douchebag when it comes to real life. Even if a person makes a good movie, that doesn't make him. That's no excuse. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. And it's like that. That turns around to Zack Snyder. And to this day, we haven't heard nothing bad about him. All the actors and actors that work with him, they love him to death because he's a great person to work with. He has nothing but respect, for his crew and team and all that stuff. It's just insane how all this shit happened, and John Burke and Jeff Johns were really supporting all this bullshit. Like, how do you let this shit be? And I'm sorry, but it's a disgusting thing that it's not new. Something that happens a lot on Hollywood, but you never hear about it because people are scared to speak out. So, to Ray, I'm gonna be 100% on his side when it comes to this, because people should come out more and speak up. I'm sorry, but in any job or career, if something weird like this happens, abuse is abuse. It doesn't mean like abuse like he's getting abused like getting hit or something. Abuse can be in many different ways. The way somebody talks to you and all that. And a lot of times people don't come out and speak because they're scared. They're scared of what's gonna happen with their job or career. But people need to stop being scared. People need to come out more.
Yeah,
All I'm saying is that's why Zack Snyder Justice League is not just a movie. How people think it is. Zack Snyder, what the movement did with this movie and this movie actually getting released means so much more than just the movie. It's so much more to that.
Yeah,
I mean, now you see how this, the way that started. The movie finally got released, so Ray just waited a little bit to actually start speaking out. So, and at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if all the people from the cast starts coming out, or even producers.
I mean, I would be not surprised at all if all the cast and all the all cast and crew are going to be saying that Josh and Jeff and John Burke were all a bunch of gross ass men who just allowed racist comments, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and mental abuse to make them to drop out their Hollywood roles and make them quit.
Yeah.
And for Ben Affleck, I kind of knew somehow Jeff was involved with this scandal about why Ben Affleck dropped out. I mean, okay, remember in the movie called The Way Back film when he was promoting it last March?
Yeah, I remember that video.
I mean, okay.
I love the video because you see the tone when he talks about Batman v Superman and he talks about Justice League. He literally says on that interview how much he loved working with Zack Snyder when it came to Batman v Superman.
That was how what we wanted to do, and I had a better time on Batman vs Superman, which I really enjoyed doing. And Justice League was unfortunately touched by some personal tragedy and of death in Zach's family, and it just, like I say, sometimes things sort of work and gel, and sometimes they just you seem to be just having one problem after another. I really loved Batman vs Superman, and Chris wrote on it, and I really love Zach, and I love putting on the costume.
In reality, the real reason he dropped out is because, one, Jeff Johns is the reason why he dropped out and he was ruining his script. Two, Jeff was like not even happy with Ben Affleck's decision. And three, Jeff was making everything miserable for him, and he dropped out because working with Jeff Johns was like working with a spoiled brat man child he is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, literally, this is so confirmed by now. It doesn't take, it's not rocket science for people to actually see all this stuff that happened. I mean, J. Olivia even came out saying that Ben made like one of the best script for a Batman movie ever made.
Not to mention Deathstroke, confirmed it too with his emoji, check mark.
And I'm sorry, it's like all that stuff. It really makes me believe after all the shit that happened, it's people gotta understand. It's like the announcement for Zack Snyder Justice League is so much more than just that one movie. To me, that just opened doors to a lot of other stuff, especially on HBO Max.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Ben Affleck is gonna be back as Batman when HBO.
I really do, really believe he's back. I really do believe it. I mean, there's a rumor going around that he already signed a new contract. That he already signed something new. And I'm not a person that don't like to believe, rumors and all that. But when it comes to that one rumor, I really do believe it.
Me too, dude. I mean, I'm believing that Ben Affleck is coming back as Batman again for HBO Max when HBO Max are gonna be more like a Netflix, region instead of what.
I mean, he literally can do, if he wants, he can turn it into a series. It's like we talked about before. At this point, it will be even easier for him because if he makes it into a series, he can put all the stuff that he actually wants to put on, and he don't even have to direct that anymore. He can have different directors doing different episodes or whatever. On top of that is, you got these people that they just really don't want him back because they feel like they won by not having him back. They feel like they won the battle, between the ones that hate Zack Snyder and all that stuff. But they don't really see that Ben Affleck, he's like a #1 fan when it comes to Batman. Batman is like literally his favorite, superhero and all that. He has said that many times. I mean, I even heard like apparently he has a real Batcave, like under his house and all that stuff. So, he has something similar to that. That's how huge of a Batman fan he is. And you're hearing this stuff like how huge of a fan he is when it comes to Batman. You really want to tell me that he would not come back?
Explain why.
Especially if they clean the house and he don't have to deal with all this bullshit anymore. He can do whatever he wants. He will come back.
Yeah.
If he's not already back, he will come back.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't. I mean, it explains about him working out like crazy. Like
He's back
good.
in shape. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, and he
lost a lot of weight, but he's putting muscle again.
Yeah, it's like a lean muscle he's in, and also
and that's not easy to do, especially on his age.
Mention,
so why would he go through that?
He got cleaned, man. And second of all, is that Ben Affleck? Okay, Ben Affleck would get easily helped by HBO Max that is more creative environment and more more cleaner, because when we had Jeff Johns in charge, he was just like being a dick against him, and he doesn't want any of it to be his
Man,
vision.
Just hearing these names really just turned me off, when it comes to these producers and Jeff Johns and all that, especially it hurts, because it's like when you were like if you were a fan of Jeff Johns, which I kind of was, before reading comics and all that, but just the snake that he became because he was trying to get that MCU Kevin Feige role, so bad. He really wanted to make his own cinematic universe and kind of control that, and that's how he just really became a snake. And in a selfish, really, pretty much a selfish way. He wasn't really thinking about nobody else but himself.
I mean, it's so funny how he tweeted only like very once in a great while. I mean, he never tweets at all during he never tweeted a lot in 2019. And he hasn't been, on social media or been a lot of interviews. But except, this year
He's hiding. He's literally hiding.
He's just
to be honest, I was surprised that John Berg came out and just pretty much confirmed how of a racist he is. That's all he did by coming out and saying that stupid ass comment. All you did, and when you came out by saying that, you pretty much confirmed how big of a fucking racist you are. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I see that as, because he didn't want to say booyah. Like, why would he trying to say some corny ass line that doesn't fit in Zack Snyder's universe? Of course, I would not try to say that line anyway. It doesn't fit with my character. It doesn't fit with his universe. And I guess he, as a producer, he got mad like a little child because race didn't want to.
I mean, saying booyah is just the dumb version of, like saying about, he's supposed to be this cheery, black character. I mean, he's not supposed to be some
exactly. It's like a one-liner when movies really used to be very racist back in the day when they had the black characters saying the one-liners.
For John Berg in his stupid, world where he thinks, racism is still good, it's 2020. During his time in
there's a lot of shit that happened in Warner Brothers.
It's not even not the 80s or 90s no more. It's the 21st century, and we're at.
I don't know. Yeah, I really, trust me, I don't understand how racism is still a fucking thing, and it's just disgusting to me. I tell people that all the time. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you support any type of racism and you know me, you can go ahead and delete me because we're done. I'm not that type of person. I'm not racist or nothing like that. If you support all that crap, you can get out.
Yeah, not to mention about, imagine John Berg was still within DC Films and he was, being a racist on Ava or Kathleen Chan. I mean, they would be confirming they'd be pissed off by his, racist behavior or changes. I mean,
and he's just talking about this whole racism. Like, what do you think about John Campia? He's another one. He's another one that he literally came out talking about how childish and blah 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 Ray was by coming out like this. Like how is that not professional? It pretty much, the way I see it, Ray probably tried to say so much before or tried to talk to these people in a settled way, but he got tired. When you hold so much in, you become a time bomb. And maybe he tried to do this in a professional way in the first place, and he just said fuck it.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't. I mean, he knows that how much Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Josh Whedon were all a bunch of racist men.
It's crazy how all those three people are not professional at all. From all the stories that when it comes to John Berg, Jeff Johns, and Josh Whedon, they're not professional at all with all the bullshit they did. But now you have like the guy that runs Slash Film and all that talking shit like Ray has no class by doing this. What? If anything, he's the one that has the balls and the class by coming out and saying this. The ones that didn't have no class whatsoever were the ones that did all this bullshit to this movie. And you want to talk all this shit like Ray's the one with no class? Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I mean, Ray was not going to be silent no more, and he's going to make every cast and crew not be silent. I mean, it's already 2020, and apparently, if you think him being silent would be forever good, you should know that Jack Johns is not even telling what happened to his career. But other than what's her face, Diane Nelson said he's no buddy of mine. That really kind of gives me a question. What did Jeff Johns ever do to her, or what he?
There's a lot of behind the scenes shit that we haven't even heard of. Like I'm saying, I think this is just the beginning of it. Because I mean, the way I see it now, I really want to I would love to hear what Ben will say about this. Um, Gal, especially Gal and Jason. I would really like, especially Gal. I would like to hear what if she will come out and say, and mind the nasty stuff.
I mean,
we all know a lot of stuff happened between her and Josh when it comes to behind the scene. The way he was treating her, very badly and all that stuff. I really would love to hear all that stuff from her. That probably will be game over for him and all these producers and all that.
yeah,
especially that Wonder Woman's just like up there.
Not to mention is that we all want to know what was their side of the story about the producer's behavior and what was their respect was and how they treated him. I mean
that's unacceptable. That should not be a thing, and that's why I'm gonna be on Ray's side. That should not be a thing. Period. In any job, any career, that stuff needs to stop. It needs to stop. Period. There's people that just because they have a role of being a store manager or a producer or director, they think that they can do whatever they want, and it's not like that. It's not like that at all.
Truth is, luck cannot last forever, man. It can't last at all. No. It's just gonna be. Truth is,
sooner or later somebody's gonna speak up and it's not gonna end well for you, or sooner or later somebody's gonna take your ass to court.
Yeah, not to mention the luck is gonna one day you don't do something of it, your luck is gonna blow up in your face and it's not gonna go well.
Yeah, because didn't that just happen with one of those nasty producers? What was his name? Winston or something like that?
Yeah.
The one that they taken to jail and all that stuff. And I love to hear stories like that because people need to come out more and speak up.
I mean,
nobody should be silenced,
It's already 2020 and we have like a lot of things, dude. Like voices are being heard, and also it's not anymore the 90s or 2000s. It's it's 2020, and plus to these gross ass producers, they should know that.
I'm sorry, if you're supporting these nasty ass people, then you just like them. Yeah. That's the way I see it. You're just a fucking worm the way they are. You really wanna support them.
And if you look
straight up,
if you look at Zack Snyder's Justice League, credits, their names are gone forever. Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Josh Whedon's name are taken away.
Yeah, and that's the next topic I want to talk about. I'm looking for the thing real quick. So that was some of the bomb that Snyder dropped in the 4th of July, confirming more stuff about his movie. Which
with the Ben Affleck's unseen photo where it was him with a trench coat.
There was many bombs that he dropped. Him answering questions on Vero. There was a lot of bombs there, like back to back. Him pretty much. I mean, we kind of already knew the OG design for Steppenwolf was coming back, but he's pretty much literally confirmed that for real. Like it's confirmed. Junkin' XL, of course, we already knew that. More Nightmare Sequence, that's another thing we already knew, but it's just more confirmation, Somebody asked him about the visual effects, and he already confirmed that they're very deep in it. I guess they're really doing work, like they've been doing work on this movie already. Kevin Costner coming back as Jonathan. That's something I wasn't really expecting, but I guess, again, we don't really know nothing about this movie. So him confirming all this stuff, to me, I feel like at this point, we had to delete all the trailers that we have seen from 2016, 2017, because all that stuff was already compromised. Not saying that he's gonna use some footage from that. All I'm saying is, of course, we're gonna get some of those epic footage in his movie, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be different dialogue. Because the dialogue that was already on those trailers, that was already compromised. When it comes to his movie, it's gonna be all different dialogue and all that, because it's gonna be his real, true version.
Yeah, everything is gonna be all his, version, what he wants to be, like to be Justice League's part 1 and following up to part 2 and 3. I mean, it's like confirming that he wants that kind of vision. And 2017, version we got was a real compromise because, it wasn't supposed to be 2 hours and 50 minutes, but then downgraded for 2 hour.
But this movie, now that you're talking about the length, how long the movie is supposed to be, that 2:14, that's already out the window. This movie just became way longer. Just by him making his true version. I mean, apparently, I don't know when this happened, but J.K. Simmons, he plays Commissioner Gordon in his universe. I don't know if he did an interview just the other day or just today, and he came out and saying, yeah, if Snyder he's gonna end up doing his true version, then this is gonna be one long ass movie because he was putting a lot in his movie. And again, Zack Snyder already confirmed we only seen a tip of his movie. We haven't seen nothing. Because some people, I guess, they're already thinking that he already spoiled the movie, and he's saying, I haven't spoiled nothing about this movie. You guys haven't seen shit. And again, when it comes to Superman alone, I feel like Superman is in this movie a lot. I think people think that Superman is supposed to be in this movie like maybe at the end of the movie, but I've been hearing different stories that Superman kind of show up kind of fast in this movie.
I think he's gonna show up like most like the whole film up like from.
I think like the beginning of the second act. I think that's where he shows up. And that's a lot, especially this movie probably gonna be like 4 hours by now. I mean, that's the one thing that he haven't confirmed. If this is gonna be a show, cut up into a mini series or a full movie. That's just something we're still waiting. I know he confirmed that there's more teasers coming out before DC fandom, and that was just already a theory from my side or many other people that he already has a lot of teasers cut up.
Speaking of which, did you hear about the reason why black suit Superman, I mean not black suit, color suit Superman is used on the Nightmare? It's because he's in
that was in the future, and he confirmed that he I guess he changed his suit. When it comes to that. So again, I mean, he did confirm that according to Zack, this Superman is supposed to be in the black suit through this whole movie. The one question I have now is this black suit supposed to have the cape or no cape? What do you think about that?
I don't know, but
I would love to see him without the cape, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He always goes capeless when he's black suit, but more than likely always done like that since.
We really don't know. I mean, in a way, for Zack Snyder to do his movie, in a way, if he has no cape, it will be easier because we all know usually when Superman has the cape in the movie, the cape is usually CGI. He don't really have a cape most of the time that they put that with visual effects. So it will be easier if he leaves the cape out. You don't really have to mess with that when it comes to visual effects that much. You get what I'm saying? Because there's no cape there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that was another question that somebody asked. It kind of goes back to that. I guess that the lead scene in the ship with Kal-El when he's looking at the suit and all that. He's saying that was his scene, but at the same time, it wasn't his scene. Like it was his scene, but somebody messed with that scene. Like somebody fucked up that scene. You're
telling me somehow that it's been colorized. Like for example, he was supposed to wear black, but until
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So pretty much, what I'm thinking now is pretty much that was another theory that would kind of people started coming out with, like what if the suit that opens in the background, the suit that he looks at first, is the color suit, and then the one that he looks at the end is the black suit, because we all know he's gonna go after the black suit in that scene. So again, that kind of confirms that whole thing, because we're supposed to have a new flight scene, flight 2.0, well, that's gonna be in a black suit.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd how they kind of did that, like, you know, colorized the black suit. And also, I wouldn't be surprised there is supposed to be, Flight 2.0. If you had Justice League, art concept books or the books of it, you'd be
Yeah.
seeing that, he's leaning on some kind of monument. And I'm wondering, okay, remember in Justice League, where the end where Superman booms up to the sky? I think somehow that ending was supposed to be where, he
That was I believe that was Zack Snyder's scene, but that was from the compromise.
Yes,
version.
that's what I'm saying, is that it was,
that was the compromise version, meaning that scene is not there at all in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because that was part of the compromise movie that he was doing for Warner Bros. But again, it's like what people don't understand, pretty much the theory that's been going around it, and I 100% believe that, 'cause I was one of the persons that thought about that theory too, of him, since all the way back then he filmed this, a lot of the scenes twice, one for him and one for the studio when he was making the movie. That's just so smart, because it just makes it so much easier. He already has his true version on the side by filming these scenes twice for almost every scene.
That is just somehow mind-blowing that he made two versions for himself, like one about his true vision and one
compromise, one not compromise. That's
like,
what he was doing. You got to remember, Ray came on an interview. He came out on an interview like two years ago now, when he says that's not a film enough for 2 movies.
Yeah, I remember.
Think about that. Think about it. That makes a lot of sense now.
I mean, remember in Justice League, we see there's like just a happy ending where Bruce and Clark are there, but what if that's not the real scene, and that's just, WB's compromise version?
For what? For which scene?
Where Bruce says, "I bought the farm."
That's yeah. Now that you bring that up, thinking about it now, I think that's compromise. Even though that's not CGI Henry Cavill, that's his real face. That's still from the compromise version. I don't. If you really think about it, that's a very corny scene. You really think Zack Snyder would have a scene like that on his movies? Nah, that has to be compromised. I mean, I'd be surprised if that scene ends up in his movie, but I really don't see it. I was kind of surprised with that teaser of the poster that they had the teaser of the poster with Amy Adams, Lois Lane doing a whole speech. Remember that teaser? According to Zack, he confirmed that is not his. So I don't know if because there's two things that's going. Apparently, we don't know if he's saying like that's not his line at all, or somebody else supposed to say that line and not Lois Lane. So now we don't. That's something we don't know at all. But the way he said it, like that's not his line.
Like knowing about Amy Adams' lines in Josstice versus Justice League promo from the Zack Snyder's version, I'm not surprised that version we supposed to hear was all Josh Whedon's writing.
Already compromised. And I didn't even thought about Amy Adams. Imagine her coming out about this whole Just thing. That's just another one that, because I mean, look what they did to her character.
They made her look
making her seem like she's thirsty and all that. Like, what are you doing?
And one thing about Amy Adams, she knows how to act and she knows how to do great Lois Lane, but not.
And they made her look like shit in that movie too, because they put her like a red wig, and her hair looks so fake.
It doesn't look like her real hair. It just looks.
It wasn't her real hair, because that was I guess she already had different color hair, because she already did the movie with Zack Snyder way before. And then there was the reshooting. They made it look like shit in that movie. A professional actress like Amy Adams, and a beautiful actress, they literally made her look like crap in that movie. But that's the same thing with Henry Cavill with the whole CGI shit.
I mean, they make him look like John Hamm meeting with what's her face? Oh yeah.
He kind of looked like Jeff John in some scenes. If you don't notice, like I feel like he used his mouth for some of the CGI scenes.
You know, between Jeff Johns about, you know, trying to beat this light shit, you know, between about he doesn't not know about Superman, the only thing I'd rather have keep is that, you know, I mean, knowing about Kevin Costner, that's like a reference of the movie called, you know, Field of Dreams, because it's like representing that, you know, a message to his own child about, you know, Ghost Dad is telling him the thing, and he comes there to the cornfield.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
giving a message, and also
I haven't seen that movie in years, but I know exactly like where you're going with it. You know, I mean, if anything, that's probably one of the main reasons why Snyder casted him. You know,
and also
that will make a lot of sense.
and also for Henry Cavill joining to the team where he has the heroes touching the ground of the floor, the ground of what, you know, the American ground of it, touching
Yeah,
the ground from the tallest grass or field, tallest crop there is.
yeah. If anything, yeah. I mean, again, these, you know, with everything that Snyder just confirmed on, you know, on the 4th of July, it, that pretty much confirms of how little we know about his vision. Like how little we haven't seen shit when it comes to this movie. Like, and we're gonna get to see that. You know, when all these teasers and trailers starts coming out, we're gonna be like, holy crap, this is a different freaking movie. We
And the
don't know, because we knew a lot when it came to the Compromise movie. That's the stuff we knew about, but we
I
don't
mean,
know nothing about his true version.
this is the reason it's called Zack Snyder's Justice
Exactly,
League.
and that's why he put the label like, this is my movie, this is my version.
I mean, it's not called Justice League, the director's cut. This is
No,
Zack
this is a different
Snyder's
movie. It's totally a different movie.
I
You
mean,
know, I'm just praying and hoping that down the road we get this on 4K and all that, because I need this on this. You know, that's
yeah,
one thing.
dude.
That's
I mean,
one thing. You know, I love my physical copy and all that, so I need that on this.
yeah, dude. Don't we all want the, you know, full copy of Justice League? I mean, streaming's okay, but owning
But it's never the same quality either. You know, when you get
they're both not
a
big.
Blu-ray disc and you get a 4K disc, the quality is always gonna be way better.
Yeah, high definition is just the biggest thing what people prefer want is 4K quality.
Streaming the, you know, I mean, you can get quality on streaming, but it's never the same quality.
Nah, dude, it's just that 4K disc is just better than streaming.
Yeah, because you know, it's 100%.
And plus,
So
who does not want to have, you know, Justice League to be, you know, in a great case when everybody bought the, you know, pink skin?
so I mean, again, I need that movie right next to my Batman v Superman, you know, and Man of Steel. Like especially we're gonna get the whole Snyderverse. I need that whole collection, you know, and hopefully we do get his whole Snyderverse and all that. Hopefully they do a box set down the road, because I will buy the shit out of that.
Me, I would max out my card.
100%. You know, you want to charge $200-$300 for that? I'll buy it. I'll buy it easy.
And also, for Zack Snyder's Justice League toys, I'd rather have, you know, McFarlane make, you know, the deleted things we never had in Justice League. And I'm pretty sure most of us would have, you know, the set of Justice League characters.
So
but not,
yeah, you know, talking about that, it's like, you know, with everything that he just confirmed, to me, I don't know, you know, I could be wrong about this, but I'm saying, like, the way I see it is, does that go back to all the concept pictures that we seen for the movie? That's the way I see it. You know, when it comes to all the art that wasn't in the movie at all, you know, when it comes to all the scary stuff.
Are you talking about that, you know, parademon nest that was referenced?
Yeah. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the parademon nest. We already know the scary Steppenwolf is back. On the third act, supposed to look very scary from all those pictures. You know, when it's like it looks like crosses, when they're like, you know, looks like a red crosses all over the sky and all that stuff.
Oh, like a like a Bible story. Wait,
Yeah, it looks very creepy as shit. Like that, I feel like is that what this means? Are we gonna get all that? Are we gonna get the forearms battle mode cyborg and all that stuff?
I think, yeah, dude. I mean, remember Zack
Because he
Snyder?
made a suit. He literally made a real suit for that.
He did make Cyborg became like a robotic octopus. Yeah, he did made him like that. And
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the same colors, like his own vision, like supposed to be like gray and blue color. Not
You gotta understand the rumors about all this is that he got a lot of freaking money from HBO Max to
well, the HBO Max
to do more.
are
Because
helping.
the rumors is like he got like 60 plus millions of dollars to do more with it or to finish his true version. So that's why I'm thinking. I believe the way I see it is all the concept pictures that we have seen before, way before the compromise version. I think that's what we're going with Warner Brothers. They always listen to the wrong people. They need to start listening to the real fans and stop listening to the wrong people that don't know shit about this universe and characters and all that. That's the only way they're gonna be able to move forward. But if they keep listening to the wrong people, then they're gonna keep making mistakes after another.
I'm pretty sure that the Suicide Squad is gonna be another, oversaturated of Batman.
I'm not expecting shit for that movie. I mean, again, he can prove me wrong. We'll see. We'll see for a trailer, but I don't know. Just from the casting and the weird stuff, that I've seen from that movie, we'll see.
Just as right now, I hope we all see more stuff at Justice Con and the DC fandom soon.
Well, that's what Snyder just confirmed the other day. Like, we're supposed to get another teaser before DC fandom. So I'm thinking Justice Con or before Justice Con. I mean, Justice Con is only a couple weeks away. So it's between maybe before that. I mean, we can either get a teaser before that and a teaser on Justice Con. Who knows? Because again, there's that rumor going around that he has a bunch of teasers, that he made.
Just as right now, we all hope Zach, teases us on a few weeks and picks soon.
Yep, for sure. All right, man. Thank you for joining in.
You too.
Take care.
You too.